If you spot a mansion on the market for below its value, you buy it on the spot. Habs Nation. If you overthink it, if you hesitate, another investor swoops in, slaps on a fresh coat of paint, and flips it back to you 6 months later for double the price. In professional sports, that tax on indecision obliterates budgets. And right now, Montreal Canadiens general manager Ken Hughes is about to get the bill for his own sluggishness. With the Olympic break in the rear view and the March 6th trade deadline breathing down our necks, the Canadiens front office has shifted into full-on hunting mode. The tactical bombshell dropped by The Athletic reveals that the primary target to bolster our attack isn't a new name. It's a ghost from last summer. The offensive bulldozer Mason Marchment, currently wearing the jersey of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Today, we're going to slice through the dark math of this corporate regret. We'll break down why Marchman's raw numbers make him the complete package, how the swift justice of hockey has made Montreal a hostage to the market, and what it means to get our prospect pool for a guy who could walk away in July. But before I flash the salary spreadsheets on your screen, I'm putting the executive pen in your hand. You're running the show for our franchise today. Do you have the guts to swallow your pride and pay a premium now for a player our front office passed on months ago? Know he's a rental whose contract expires this season? Or do you own the mistake outright, double down on the youth in our system, and forget about big-name reinforcements? Think with a calculator in hand, because the ice at the Bell Center doesn't forgive stubbornness. Let's take a hard look at the scene of this tactical crime. Mason Marchman isn't just any player. He's a rare breed. 6'5", over 500 career hits dished out, and a killer instinct in front of the net. He punishes and he produces. He's already got 13 goals this season. He's the physical, lethal piece missing from our second line. Journalist Arpon Basu laid bare the blunder. Montreal wanted Marchman last summer when he was with the Dallas Stars. We slept on it. He got shipped to Seattle, and then the Columbus Blue Jackets moved fast and snagged him in December. And this is where the swift justice of hockey kicks down the door of Ken Hughes' office. Montreal's management tried to be too clever, waiting for the price to drop. The karma for underestimating the market? March panic. The ultimate punishment for not closing the deal back, then, is that now Columbus holds all the cards. If the Blue Jackets stumble into games following the Olympic break, they'll put Marchman on the showcase. And when they turn to Montreal, they won't ask for fair market value. They'll slap on a desperation tax, knowing full well that Hughes is obsessed with fixing the mistake he made last summer. We're about to pay the late fee, forking over precious draft picks for a player with a $4.5 million cap hit who could become an unrestricted free agent in 3 months is a glaring admission that our front office is negotiating with a noose around its neck. So why is Marchment worth this kind of gamble, even with the inflated cost? Let's start with the player himself. He's not a finesse forward. He's a wrecking ball with hands. At 6 feet 5 inches and over 220 pounds, he's a physical presence who can dominate along the boards, win puck battles, and create space for line mates by sheer force. But he's not just a goon. Those 13 goals and counting show he's got a scorer's touch, especially in tight around the crease. He's the kind of winger who can turn a good line into a great one, adding a dimension of power that Montreal sorely lacks. Picture him on the second line with a playmaker like Kirby Dach or a sniper like Patrick Lane. If he's still here, Marchman crashes the net, draws defenders to him with his physicality, and opens up shooting lanes for his partners. Or slot him with Nick Suzuki on the top line for stretches, giving Suzuki a bodyguard who can also finish plays. He's versatile enough to play up and down the lineup, and his 500-plus career hits mean he's not afraid to set the tone in a playoff series where physicality often decides who advances. He's also got postseason pedigree. Marchman was a key piece for Dallas in deep playoff runs, showing he can elevate his game when the stakes are highest. For a Canadiens team that's been criticized for being too soft, too easy to push around in tight games, he's the exact injection of grit and menace we've been missing. But here's the rub, and it's a big one. That $4.5 million cap hit is only for this season. Marchman is a rental. Come July, he's an unrestricted free agent, free to walk for nothing if he doesn't re-sign. You're not just trading for a player. You're trading for a 3-month audition. If he doesn't fit, if the team doesn't make a deep run, or if he prices himself out of Montreal's range in the summer, you've burned assets for a fleeting impact. That's a bitter pill to swallow, especially when Columbus is likely to demand a first-round pick or a high second plus a prospect. Capitalizing on our past hesitation, and let's talk cap space. Even for a rental, for $0.5 million isn't trivial. Fitting him under the ceiling might require moving a contract like Brendan Gallagher's or Josh Anderson's, both of which come with their own complications. If Hughes can't offload salary without giving up additional assets, the cost of this deal balloons even further. Are we prepared to pay that desperation tax, both in picks and roster juggling, for a player who might not be here past the spring? There's also the question of long-term fit. Marchman is 28, not ancient, but not a spring chicken either. His game relies heavily on physicality, which can wear down over time. If we do re-sign him, are we locking into a multi-year deal for a player whose style might not age gracefully? And if we don't, have we just mortgaged part of our future for a short-term boost that might not even get us past the second round? This is the brutal calculus Kent Hughes faces. On one hand, a player who perfectly addresses a glaring need, size, grit, and secondary scoring, available at a moment when a team is hungry to prove it's more than just promising. On the other, a rental whose acquisition cost is inflated by our own past inaction, carrying the risk of walking away for nothing and leaving us with less to build with tomorrow. It's a classic hockey dilemma. Do you pay the premium to win now, or do you absorb the pain of a missed opportunity and keep your eyes on the horizon? The extortion table is set, and I'm dropping this contract right in your lap. Approve or veto. Given the desperate need for offensive weight on our roster, do you hit the green button, pay Columbus urgency tax, and bring Mason Marchment in for a wild playoff run, hoping you can re-sign him or at least make a deep push? Or do you fold your arms, refuse to be played for a fool by the market, and stand pat, trusting the youth to grow through another year of battle scars? Lay it all out in the comments. Don't hold back. Spell out the package you'd offer or why you'd walk away entirely. The Montreal Canadiens demand a steady hand in the front office, and the deadline clock is ticking louder by the day. And don't you dare blink. While we're plotting this panic buy, a silent nuclear crisis just erupted in the depths of the Atlantic Division overnight. The Boston Bruins have dropped a brutal ultimatum on the negotiation table to sweep out their top defensive star after a locker room meltdown. The identity of this monster, who could be on the move? I'll blow that wide open in the next video. Stay locked in.